It's story time. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Storytime with Nikki. I know today ain't Friday, it's Saturday, but your girl had to just live her life this Friday. Either way, I'm gonna make sure that your weekend is great. Grab your wine, grab your snacks, girl, because we are having story time today. This is a new series that I'm starting here on my channel because we be talking stuff all the time. Let me explain a little bit before we get into the story. So I'm starting this series and it's called Pretty Petty, like pretty and petty, or you being pretty petty, however you want to look at it, okay? But it's called Pretty Petty. Stories are actually going to talk about me, how I've been petty, how I have messed up, how I dropped the ball, how I may not have been the greatest like friend to my friends before. So many of you guys are under the impression that because I tell stories about what the hell happened with my ex-stepsister that I'm like insinuating that I'm a perfect person, and that's absolutely not it, okay? When I started telling stories on YouTube, I was just, you know, trying to like say my piece and tell my life and be like, look, this is some crazy shit that happened. I didn't know that it was going to like jumpstart my career here on YouTube. So I just kept giving y'all what y'all wanted, and y'all always wanted stories about my whole ass stepsister. I get it, but that's not to say that I'm sitting here trying to be like, oh, I'm so perfect and I never did anything wrong and I never did anything shady and I never did anything petty and I never ever. That's not it. The whole point of this series is, number one, just to let y'all know we're all gonna mess up. We're all gonna like make mistakes. We're all gonna be stupid. We're not gonna be like the best friend or the best daughter in the world always. Like, I tell you guys these stories, what I did and how I would have handled it now that I'm grown, how I would have handled it differently. So that's the whole point of this series. So enjoy this tea I'm serving to you myself. Here it is. There are so many people, unfortunately, that watch my videos that cannot wait to start pointing the finger and being like, you just so terrible or whatever. So here's your chance, okay? Here's your tea. Here it is. Enjoy. I would like to make a point still. When I was doing this shit, I was not 11, 12, and 13 years old. Say hey, what's up to our fellow Glamazon and her beautiful Glamazon shot. Her name is Elena. Hey girl, looks so amazing and so cute and so adorable. Thank you so much for sending me your Glamazon shot. I really enjoy it. Thank you so much for all of your love and support. You guys know that I would not be here without you, and I could not do this without each and every one of you guys. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now let's get into Pretty Petty. This was at the school that was between my shitty school and my last and final school. It was the school that was in between those two. So this was like I was only there for like 4 or 5 months, like half of a school year. That's how long I was there. First, I'm going to tell you guys like the mindset that I was in, and I remember this because at this point, like, this was after my shitty school. I'm not trying to get involved in any sort of drama because I'm over it. I'm tired. I just came from my shitty school. I refused to be a part of as much drama and fighting and issues as I was at my shitty school. So when I went to this school, I made it a point to get involved in FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America. I was trying to keep myself busy so that I wouldn't fall into like the trap of high school drama, you know what I'm saying? I was like trying to be like laser focused with like clubs and extracurriculars, right? We're gonna talk about this girl, okay? And we are gonna name her, I don't even remember her real name, to be honest. We're gonna name her Ashley. Now, Ashley was gorgeous, but she was like gorgeous in a different way. She was the type of beauty that you didn't see on an everyday basis. Let me explain. Ashley was a natural redhead, and she had long hair. It was like down to her waist, and it was red. And like she had these really beautiful green eyes and like, you know, the freckles, and I thought she was so pretty. I'm not even gonna lie. She knew it. She knew she was cute. And so I actually had English class with her. That's where like I first laid eyes on her. I'll tell you guys about my first interaction with her and how things kind of built up from there. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all and tell y'all that I remember exactly what our project was about, but I do know that we had to like present to a presentation in front of the class. The teacher, she gave us our rubric. She told us that we had creative control of how we wanted to present our project, whether it's verbally and just standing before the class, or if it's like, you know, if you wanted to incorporate artwork, if you wanted like it was one of those. And some of my friends were gonna like do handouts, and they were like gonna like create their own little presentation or whatever, but everything that I was hearing from my friends and like other people in my class, they were essentially going to do their project with hard copies. And I kind of made note of that, and I wanted to stand out a little bit. And so I was like, she's giving us creative control. I don't want to do something that like everyone else is doing. I want to be a little bit different. So I always dabbled in video editing. I loved it. And so I created this PowerPoint presentation, and I put, y'all know I was going crazy with the clip art, and like I put like snippets of videos at that time, and like created this presentation that got the point across, but I still like put some funny stuff in there. Nobody else had done this yet, right? So my teacher, you know, she calls me out. She's like, all right, Nikki, you're next. It's time to, you know, present your project or whatever. I was so nervous, and I had saved the PowerPoint presentation on a thumb drive, and my teacher had her laptop at the front of the class, and she had like the projector, you know. I was like, can I use your laptop? And everyone got quiet, and like everyone was like, what? She was like, oh, okay, we're gonna get some visuals. Okay, she was really excited. So she opens up her laptop, you know, she puts my thumb drive in, and I open up my PowerPoint presentation, and here we go. So I start going through my PowerPoint presentation, you guys. Everyone loved it, okay? Everyone loved it. It was a hit. Like, oh, I was feeling so good and so accomplished. So my teacher made it known. It was very evident that my teacher was very happy with my work, and I knew that I was gonna get like an A++ on this. Now, like I said, Ashley was in this class with me. It was so evident that she was not like amused. She just wasn't fucking with my presentation pretty much. And she was making it so blatant, like, this girl didn't know nothing about me to have no problem with me or my damn presentation. Like, what did my presentation do to you? No, like, you know, like when somebody just don't like you and they're just trying to embarrass you, and like you're really feeling yourself, and like you accomplished something and they're just trying to bring you down. That's exactly what she was doing, and it was apparent. And I was like, oh, said the mentality that I came into the school with, I was like, I'm not about to do it. I'm not about to get involved in drama. I'm seriously, you guys, I steered clear from any females that even seemed like they were halfway popular. I did see it. I saw and felt and sat in the shade that she was throwing my way. And, you know, I completely ignored it. Whatever. It was the first time, like, blatantly she was throwing shade my way. It was about this damn presentation, and I don't know why it was a big deal. Okay, so fast forward. I had a fire drill at school, and you know how you have to, it's a drill, you know, and you got to get up and you got to get your things. You got to go outside and make sure you stay with your teacher, and they count all you. You guys know the drill. And I see Ashley, and she's like off to the side, and she has her friends that those are the only people that she talks to. She's not like, you know, a social butterfly. Don't get it twisted. Okay, she got her friends and her little posse, and that's exactly who she talks to, and that's it, right? So she was over there. Sorry, I just laughed because this is so petty. God damn it. Like, my teacher's calling out our names. So she's going down the list, and she calls Nikki. You guys, before I could like be like, oh, here, this hoe, Ashley, I hear her say, nobody wants her here. Don't even call her name. Nobody wants her here. Everybody heard it that was like in the line with us. Everyone heard it. And I was like, are you trying to get snatched up out here? Are you trying to get snatched up? Really? Okay. Here. I was sick of females like this, and I was like, literally, I don't know you. I don't know you. I don't know nothing about you. I couldn't care less about you, girl. I can't live my life and do well in class without you having a problem with me to this extent. Like, it's been weeks. Like, what did I do to you? Nothing. Because everyone heard her say that. Like, I feel like from that point on, they just knew that she actually didn't like Nikki. And like, I couldn't get an answer from anyone. Like, everyone knew it, you know what I'm saying? But nobody knew why. So like, I would like ask the girls that I talked to, and I'd be like, do you know why she got a problem with me? Like, did I do something to offend her in class? Like, is there something that I'm not aware of? And they're like, nah, like, she just don't like you. And I was like, well, that's fine. And like, I did not have a problem. I never have a problem. If you don't like me, that's fine. That's your prerogative. That is your opinion, sweetheart. It's not going to kill me if you don't like me. I don't care. Like, I might not like you, and that's fine. Not everybody's going to like you, but don't be rude. It's not their problem that you don't like them. Peace out and live your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really don't like that person, then you really don't want to mess with them in any capacity. You don't want to talk about them. You don't want to talk to them. You don't want to bother them. You don't want to fight with them, because guess what? They just don't matter. So like, I digress. After that, I had an attitude with her every time that she came across me. Like, you don't like me, that's fine. Stay out of my face. Like, here's the thing about her. I could tell that she wasn't about that life. Does that make sense? Like, she wasn't trying to fight me. She was like doing the normal like mean girl shit where like she just wanted to talk down and bad around me, not even to me. She wasn't like trying to beef. Like, she wasn't trying to fight. She wasn't trying to go there because like, this was Ashley. I knew that, but I needed to let her know it could quickly turn into that if you don't stop it, if you don't leave me alone. You guys, like, if she even threw a little bit of shade my way and she was like, over here, make myself perfectly clear. Don't come to me. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. Don't have my name in your damn mouth, because I will look at you sideways, and we could take it there, homie. We can. After I started throwing them looks like, we could go there. We could do this. Like, you don't understand. Like, this was like an everyday occurrence at my old school. Don't try it. So after I started doing that, things kind of died down. Fortunately, as most things go, when it comes to girls not getting along, there was a boy involved. I know that I always talk about my Spanish classes, and I just feel like, honestly, I don't know why those were always the best classes. And like, so here's how I look at it. Here's why I think this happened the way that it did, because your electives are like with people that are usually not a part of your core classes, so you don't see them as often. Does that make sense? So I just feel like, I don't know, like, I just feel like we had so much fun in my electives, like my Spanish class and my PE classes and stuff like that. I did meet this guy in Spanish class, and this was the same class that I met Andrew's funky ass, okay? If y'all are lost, y'all just need to go ahead and go on my playlist, my Storytime playlist, and get yourself caught up, because I did talk about this school, and I talked about the guy that I dated. He didn't want me to wear panties to homecoming, and my mom found out and she saw the text message and she called him. It was that whole thing, okay? So that was the kid that I was like dating, and he was a part of my Spanish class, okay? So this was after that happened. This was after the fact, after I was like all embarrassed and all that happened, right? And homecoming had already happened. I remember how I was telling you like how the classroom was set up where like we're kind of like facing each other, and he sat behind me on my side, right? So he's like constantly looking at the back of my head. So we'll call him Mike. Okay, we were hanging out in class one day, and you know, it was like a Friday or something. We had free time. That's all I know. So we had free time. It's like sitting, you know, sideways in my chair. So we're basically like sitting next to each other. He was a senior and I was a junior at the time. And so he constantly left every single day. He left school to go to lunch, and like he would hit up Sonic, he would go to Chipotle, all this and all that, right? So we had Spanish right after lunch. And so he would come into class with like, you know, his Chick-fil-A cup or his Chipotle chips or whatever, always like remnants of where he had gone for lunch. I obviously didn't have a car. You already know I was about that bus life. And so I never left school, hardly. And if I did, I had to go on foot, and I would like go across the street with some of my friends to like the little grocery store, and I would like buy stuff there. But as far as like fast food restaurants, never, because I didn't have no car. My friends didn't have no car. I was flirting, okay? And this is how I flirt. I was kidding around with him, and I was like, dang, you didn't bring me none. And I remember specifically he had gone to Sonic, and I love Sonic's chili cheese tater tots. Oh my god. Like, he brought in like a slushie or something from Sonic, and I was like, I know you did not. I know you did not just come into this class and you didn't bring me nothing from Sonic. And you know, I was just like, you know, being stupid. It's like, you never told me you wanted Sonic. I'm just saying, if you were a real friend, you would think about it, and I wouldn't have to tell you, you know? After that conversation and us playing around about that, every single day, this boy would bring me something from wherever he had gone for lunch. If he went to Chipotle, he would bring me a quesadilla. If he went to Sonic, he would bring me tater tots and a slushie. If he would stop for gas, he would go in the gas station and he would bring me some M&Ms. Like, every time. So people started noticing, including Andrew's little funky ass. I know that this seems like there was something going on between Mike and I at this time, but there really wasn't. I don't know why. Like, I honestly was just playing with him. It was nice, girl. Like, I ain't even gonna lie. It was nice to, you know, I didn't have to eat my lunch, the nasty ass school lunch, because I knew that my homie Mike was gonna bring me some food in Spanish class. I know how things go. Once people started seeing that this was like a normal occurrence, some of my friends were coming up to me like at my locker and stuff, and they were like, girl, be real. What's going on with you and Mike? And like, I'd be like, nothing. Like, honestly, nothing. We do not talk outside of this class. You guys, like, never. It was just in Spanish class. And like I said, I don't know why he took it upon himself to feed me, but I'm not about to stop my plug. We weren't together at all. There was like nothing like going on besides exchanging of goods. I mean, exchanging of food, okay, not goodies, like not my goodies. We had like a pretty big lunchroom. I go through the line with my friends and I have my tray of food and we start walking through the lunchroom, right? It was 3 of us all together and we're all walking through the lunchroom. We all have our trays. Find a table, it's near the window, and we sit down and it's just the 3 of us and we're like in our own world, you guys, just like talking. I don't even remember about what. I hear someone say, oh, she's talking to Mike, I think. It was a statement that was made, but you could tell that that person was not directing that statement towards me. So I just did not want to give it any play. And I didn't even, you guys, I didn't even look up. I heard it and I knew that they were talking about me, whoever this person was, but I was like, you know what? They're not talking to me, so I'm not about to, like I said, I'm not about to give it no play. I'm not about to fall into this, right? Want to ask me something, they can come and ask me. They obviously don't, so whatever. I continue eating, but both of my friends that are sitting in front of me, they both look up and they're like, and then I hear a response to that statement from someone else. No, Mike doesn't date ghetto hood rats like her. My friends, both of them, they were like, caught all of us off guard, and literally the minute that that came out of her mouth, my body heat like spiked and I was just like literally feeling like I was going to explode. Everything in me wanted to jump across my table onto her table and just start. So I look over immediately the minute that came out of her mouth, and I just wanted to know. I needed to see the person, the face of the person. They just called me a ghetto hood rat. I look over and it's Ashley's bitch ass. I look over at her, I'm literally staring at the side of her head, and her friends that are sitting with her can see me, and I make sure that they can see me. I was waiting. I was like, if she turns around, please turn around. Please turn around. Please turn around. Such a coward. And I started laughing like a crazy person, like laughing. I was like, I know you did not. Like, I know if you're gonna say it and you're gonna say some disrespectful shit like that and you're gonna like be coming at me sideways, do it to my face. Oh no, I lost all respect for her. I was like, you are a coward and you are like, I don't know, this pretend wannabe mean girl, and like you ain't even got it like that, boo-boo. I told my friends, I'm gonna go outside. I need a minute. And I walked away. I walked away from the situation. I did not give her no play after I stared at the side of her head and she made it clear that she wasn't gonna turn around. Fine. I need to go. I left the situation, but I did not leave the situation in my head, okay? I was not done with her. I decided to go a different route. Fine. You want to play like a mean girl? You want to be petty? You want to be petty? And like, I was just like so tired of like being treated like that by females that like, I didn't even know. Like, I don't know you. Why are you commenting on me? Like, why are you talking about me like you know me? And if you know me and you want to get to know me, then talk to me and say something to me, you little coward. You're sitting out there, you guys, and I'm just silent. And I'm sitting there and I'm like zoning out and I'm just trying to think of, I'm plotting and planning. Like I said, both of my friends are like talking. They're like, I don't even know why is she be coming at you like that? Like, who is she? And like, literally, they didn't even know who she was, because my friends that I went to lunch with, they were not in any of my core classes at all. I actually met them through my club, through FBLA. So they did not know her. They were like, who is she? Y'all, I got silent mad. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's a lot more dangerous than when you like pop off and you are like trying to fight. So I sat there. And I was like, okay, she made a statement about Mike. There's no way that Mike could like someone like me because I'm a ghetto hood rat. But why is she worried about who Mike likes? It couldn't be because she got a thing from Mike, now could it? Maybe. So I played the game. I decided that I was gonna be pretty petty. I made the decision, y'all, to be petty, and I was gonna fight fire with fire, and I was gonna come at her hard because I was tired of it. I was tired. The days after that, I was still pissed. Every single time I went into my English class, don't even look at me. If I even felt that she was looking my way, I knew, because I was friends with Mike, that he had that whole period, it was like third period off, which meant that he had like over an hour for lunch, because he had both A and B lunch off because he's a senior. So he basically only came to school for like half a day, right? I knew that he had a lot of freedom, and I had just a little feeling, I had a little sneaky feeling that maybe, quite possibly, Ashley has like a little crush on Mike, and that's not my problem. So I ended up talking to Mike in our Spanish class. You know, again, he like brought me something, and so, you know, we're chilling in class, and I was like, you go go out for lunch every day? And he was like, yeah, like I can't stand the food here. I'm not about to eat here. Hell no. I did. I played it. Okay, I played it. Look, listen. Can't wait to get my car because like I wish that I could do that. Like I would give anything to be able to leave and just like go to a Chipotle and eat some actual food. The only place we can go is like across the street to the grocery store, and like I'm just over it. I cannot wait to get my car. He looked at me and he was like, well, do you want to go to lunch with me one day? I mean, yeah. I didn't just like want to go to lunch with him. This was a part of my petty plan, okay? So I needed to make sure that Ashley knew that I was going to lunch with him. I was like, just meet me out in front of the school. You know, I have B lunch and then, you know, we can take off. And he was like, yeah, we'll just go eat and then we'll come back and bring our food in here or whatever. And like, you know, he's all excited. I'm excited. I genuinely did want to like spend time with him, but I'm not. Look, this was my pettiness, okay? You can judge if you want to. I know that you are, whatever. So I make these plans with Mike and I know that he's going to be picking me up out front of the school for lunch. Wake up the next day, I get ready. That morning for English class, I'm just looking at Ashley like, you wait, bitch. You wait. Just can't wait. It was like my petty side. I'm sorry. Y'all know, like sometimes being petty just feels so good. I meet up with my usual friends, like my 2 girlfriends that I go to lunch with, and I told them what was up and I told them what was going to happen, and they were like, girl, you did not. And I was like, yes. And he's going to park his ass right there. Like kind of nervous, but I'm excited because I'm like trying to prove a point, you know. Go to the lunchroom as usual. I walk in with my 2 girls. They're still getting their lunch from the lunch line, and so I walk through there with them, but I just don't have a tray. I'll come out as per usual, and we're walking across the lunchroom and I see Ashley. She saw me too. She looked up at me really fast and then looked away, but I was like, okay, you're right here. Okay, cool. Let the games begin. I get on my phone and I text Mike, hey, I'm ready, or something like that, like come pick me up. You guys, I would be lying to you if I said that the feeling of me texting him and knowing that he was coming to get me and like this was all gonna happen in front of her, it did. It made me feel great. I'm not here to sugarcoat it. I'm not saying it's right. I'm here to be real. It did. It felt great. So, you know, I put my phone down. I'm like, I guess who's coming to get me? Not even 30 seconds. He rolls up into the front. There's like the lanes that they have for like pick up and drop off, you know, in the front of the school. So the lunchroom had 2 walls that were made like from top to bottom out of glass, and you could see out of that glass into the front of the school, and it all faced the front of the school, right? So when you're sitting there, you can see all the cars, anyone walking up to the front of the school, you can see from the lunchroom because they just had all those windows, right? Drives up, you guys, and he has a black Mustang like GT or something like that. It was a nice ass car. Okay, it was nice. My friends are like, ooh girl, your man's here. I made a whole show out of it. And I look out and I was like, oh my God, is that Mike? Of course I knew it was, okay? Oh my God, that's right. We're having lunch together. My girls are in on this, so they're like, And so I was like, okay. I was like, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna go have lunch with Mike. I'm just like tired of this food here. I think we're going to Chipotle. Do you guys want anything? And so like my friends are like playing along and they're like, nah girl, you go have fun. Like go be with your man or whatever. Side door that led out like directly from the lunchroom and like to the front of the school. He gets out of his car and he comes around and he opens the door for me. Make my plan even better, y'all. He is like such a gentleman and he like opens the door and I'm like, oh thanks. And you know, like I'm just y'all, I was like in my moment, okay? I know it was a petty moment, but it was a moment nonetheless. And so we take off and we go to Chipotle. We actually met up with a few of his friends there at Chipotle that I knew. And like, we had such a good time, you guys. Like, we headed back to school. We went to class together. We walked in together. We both had our Chipotle. And so everybody was like, oh yeah, y'all for real. Like, y'all really together, right? What happened? And then everything like went back to normal. Mike and I didn't put like a whole lot of emphasis on us going out to lunch, and it didn't turn into anything. It opened the door for us to start like going to lunch together more often, and it actually started becoming like a normal thing. I'm not gonna lie. And I would go out with him and his friend Johnny. They started taking my other friends, my girlfriends, and like it was like a whole group thing. It turned into like this whole thing, and we were hardly ever spending time at school like after that because we were going to lunch with the boys. That happened. I just felt like I won this, okay? Obviously, like she saw him pick me up, like, you know, I made my point or whatever. So I did. When I went into my English class the next time, I went in there with my head high. Like, I know you saw it. I made my point. Don't ever come at me like that again. Don't ever say anything like that about me again, because you thought he would never take a ghetto head rat out. So fast forward like like a week maybe. I got this really weird text from Mike before lunch, and it was like something along the lines of like he wanted to go to lunch with just me today. He told me that he had something to talk to me about, and I was like, so lunchtime comes around and I go out with Mike, and he and I ended up going down the street to a Taco Bell. He usually went through the drive-thru, but he wanted to go inside, and like he was just acting weird, and I was like, what is going on? So we get out, we go inside the Taco Bell, we order, we sit down, and we're eating. Y'all know how I feel about awkward situations, okay? So I just came right out and said it. I was like, what do you need to talk to me about? Why are you being so weird? Like, what's wrong? Look, I don't want to like put any pressure on you or anything. And I was like, okay. And he was like, I hate asking this question because it makes me sound like such a girl. And I was like, what? And he was like, what is this between us? Like, you know, he was basically like, what are we doing? He was like, I think that you know already that I like you. And he was like, you know, we've never really talked about it, and I never wanted you to like feel pressured. And I know that, and because I was like really honest with him that I didn't really want to be in a relationship after the whole Andrew thing. And I was like, I'm just like trying to chill. Like I said that a lot, and he knew about the other schools that I went to and stuff. And so he was like, I just don't want you to feel like you have to. He was like, but I would just like to know now. So he's like opening the door to this conversation that we've never had. And so, you know, I'm like, well, how do you feel? Like, I'm trying to get a feel for him, because I don't want to like just come right out and be like, yeah, you know, like I'd love to be in a relationship with you. But I was in a hard spot because there was already talk at home with our parents that we were going to be moving again. But I was honest with him. I was like, you know, I like you and I like spending time with you, but I just don't know if we can date, because, and it's not because I don't like you or anything. I just don't want to disappoint you. And I'm going to be real with you. I think I might be moving soon. What? And I was like, yeah. He was like, do you know where? And I was like, no, not yet. And so like we were in this weird spot. I just felt like this conversation was like coming out of thin air. And it wasn't just that. He just seemed really stressed out about it. He was like, so there's this girl that I talked to for like maybe 2 weeks. He was like, and we were just texting, like nothing ever happened. And I was like, okay. And he was like, she goes to school with us. And I was like, oh, and like I never knew this, you guys. Nobody ever talked about anybody that Mike had been with before. Like I didn't know. And that's kind of what I liked about him, is that he didn't have like mess, okay, all over the school. I'm talking to you about this because she's been hitting me up recently. Like, I'm gonna be honest, she asked me to go on a date with her, and I was like, ugh. Like, okay, look, I don't want you to not go on a date with someone for the sake of me, because like I said, I'm more than likely gonna move. And so I don't want you to like hold out on, if you want to go on dates with this girl, you should do that. My hands were tied, you know, like, and this happened a lot. Like when I liked someone and then we were moving, like you just gotta let them live their lives. I promise I won't get hurt. Like we were never dating, you know, like just feel free. I was like, but do you mind like telling me who it is? And he was like, oh yeah. He was like, is this girl Ashley? Ashley? I was like, red hair? She got red hair? Yeah. He was like, you know her? And I was like, yeah, I have English with her. And I was like, I got English with her. Like I was just like making faces. What? He was like, what's wrong? Like, why are you making that face? I was like, she and I don't really like each other. At this point, he like turned right back into his funny self, and he was like, oh, do tell. And he was like, what happened? He was like, I didn't even know y'all knew each other. And I felt like this was my opportunity to kind of bring him out of the dark, because I used him for my petty behavior, okay? And now she's getting a hold of him, trying to get with him, and like she's under the impression that he and I are together. So like I just felt like this was on some whole other level of like bullshit. I was like, she's still like, how disrespectful. Everyone thinks that we're actually together. From an outsider's perspective, it does look like you and I are together. So how dare she? Like, you could be my man, you know? Like, and I was really honest with him like that. We were friends first and foremost. So I was like, you know, I just find this a little weird. Like, this is funny. I was like, I can't help but find this funny. And he was like, why? So she's been texting you? And he was like, yeah, like she's just like been inviting me to go bowling or like to go to the movies, and I've been busy or I've been working. He was like, but honestly, I just didn't want to say yes or, you know, go out with her if I didn't know what was going on between you and I. I was like offended, because I felt like, bitch, you don't know if he and I are together, and you're over here hitting him up like that, trying to go out with him. What is wrong with you? I'm done. I'm not about to continue to play these games. I was like, I'm gonna tell you the truth, okay? And he was like, okay. I told him everything, and I was like, look, she's been shady towards me for no reason. I was like, and this is totally like girl shit. I was like, you know, it's stuff that you're not gonna understand. I don't understand it either because I don't know her like that, and this happened. And then I got to like the part where I was in the lunchroom and she said that about me. Lunchroom, that Mike would never go out with a ghetto hood rat like myself. Mike sat there, he was like, what? And it was at that moment that I kind of put two and two together, that I was like, now I did not know that you guys used to talk at all. I just got a feeling because she made that statement that she may like have a crush on you. I said that and I was like, you know, I put two and two together. He sat there and he goes, really? And he was like, this wouldn't be around the time that we started going to lunch, right? It was. Nikki, really? And I was like, I had to prove my point. I was like, she was over there talking stuff and saying that you would never go out with somebody like me. And I was like, and I don't even know what that means. So he was like, but you like wanted to go to lunch with me for real though, right? Yes, I did. With that being said, I was like, I feel like this is just perfect timing, and I feel like this is her way of trying to get back at me low-key, and she doesn't know that we're having this combo, and like, that's why I'm offended. That's why I can't stand her. I was sitting there and he was like, I had no idea that this was going on. Just like a boy, like just so oblivious. He started talking to me about like his experience with her, and he was like, that was my issue with her. He was like, I feel like she's really immature like that. And she was a junior like me, and keep in mind he's a senior. And he was like, you know, we talked for like a few weeks texting. He was like, and I got that vibe from her. I was like, I'm not trying to, you know, dissuade you from going out with her. If you want to go out with her, that's fine. I was like, I'm letting you know that there's like a whole story that you don't know about between she and I. It could be causing her to reach out to you, but I do think that she actually likes you. Her and I aside, I do think that she actually likes you. I was like, so if you want to go out on a date with her or whatever, like, feel free. I just want you to know that like that's what happened, that's what I did. Like, he was like, I can't believe you used me like to be petty like that. And I was like, look, I'm sorry, like I will take full responsibility for that, because I did do that, and I was petty as fuck, and like I was proving a point, but I did use you to do that, and I'm sorry. My feelings were genuine. I just wanted to make sure she saw. He was so understanding about it, and we just like laughed about it. And back on the topic of he and I, and he was like, so you don't think that like we can make this work? He was like, I really like you. And like we were laughing so much, and he was like, I really like you. He was like, you're sure that like this can't work? Like we can't make it work? Y'all, I already knew. I had moved so much. I was like, this ain't gonna work because of my mother, because of how far we might be moving. I don't know where we're going. And this was his senior year. He's about to go off to college. Like, I'm not stupid. This wasn't gonna work at all. You guys, we were almost late to school because we were having this conversation for so long. So we like speed right back to school. We run into Spanish class, and we didn't forget about it, but that was the end of that conversation. My Spanish teacher had like a farewell party for me. It was really sweet. They had like written me handwritten notes, but my teacher made them write them in Spanish. Even Andrew had to write me a note. It was hilarious. So then my last day came around. Here's where my final petty moment was, but I wasn't being petty on my own, okay? I decided that I wasn't gonna get on my school bus because I wanted to spend a little bit more time with my friends. So I was like, I'm just gonna ride the RTD home. I was just out there, you know, my friends were saying bye, and it was very, you know, emotional. We were like teenagers, and they're like, oh my God, I'm gonna miss you so much. So we're all out in the front of the school, and there's like this area where like the school buses come, and so there's so many kids right there, and then like kids that are piling out in front of the school so their parents can pick them up or whatever, and we're standing right out there, and there's everyone is out there. I see Mike and Johnny, and they're walking over, and like my heart's beating off fast, and I'm so sad. He came up to me, you guys, and he just like grabbed me and like pulled me into him and just like hugged me so hard, and he was like, I can't believe that you're actually like moving. I cannot believe that this is the last day. It was kind of tall. My chin's like over his shoulder when he's hugging me, and I look behind him, and there's Ashley, and she's standing there with some of her friends, and they're like standing by this bench, and they have like their backpacks and stuff right there, and she's looking right at me. It was one of very few times that I saw that bitch looking my way, like actually looking right at me, and she looked pissed. I backed up and I looked at Mike. I was like, ooh, we got an audience. And he was like, what? Mike looked behind him and he saw her, and sure enough, she's still looking right over there, like right at us. I feel like she all of a sudden got courage because she knew that I was leaving, like I wasn't gonna come back. So I feel like she was really just showing out, and she really would not take her eyes off of us at all. So like, you know, he saw that and he was like, oh, all right, well, let's give her something to look at. That fast. I did not know what was going on. I had no idea. This boy grabbed me and leaned down and kissed me, and like kissed me, doing the most, okay? He knew what he was doing. He participated in the pettiness too. I hate it when guys mess with girls and like they talk to them for however long and then they start talking to you and then that girl starts tripping on you, then the guy doesn't say anything. I hate that. Like, I hate that so much. This is your mess. This is what you created. And like, you started talking to her and like, she is causing issues for me. And I just appreciated that Mike saw that and was like, nah, like, you're not about to do her like that. And so I don't think that they ended up talking after that. Like, I stayed in touch with him on Facebook for about a year after that. And I never saw her anywhere on his Facebook or anything. And then we ended up losing touch because I got off of Facebook shortly thereafter because it was so much drama. It's weird because I actually saw Mike at the mall like a year and a half into David and I dating, and David and I were at the mall together and we're like holding hands, and I saw Mike working at one of those like booths. It was like an AT&T booth or something like that, and he was working there, you guys. I looked at him, I was like, whoop. I was like, nah, we're not gonna do it. No. Would I have done things differently now? Yes, I would have. I feel like I would not have put so much emphasis on what the hell she said. I don't think I would give a shit, honestly. And it's probably because I'm on YouTube now and like people just be talking out their face about like stupid stuff, and like they just be assuming and like thinking they know you. What I've learned is people are going to try to tear you down, and when they don't like you or you are intimidating to them or whatever their issue is with you, they will project that onto you and try to make you feel uncomfortable. But they only have as much power as you give them. And I feel like I gave Ashley quite a bit of power over my emotions and over my anger and over my feelings, just because she didn't see me as worthy or, you know, good enough for Mike to date. Had nothing to do with me. Like, if someone has an opinion about you like that, let them have their opinion about you like that. Who cares? I was lucky that Mike understood petty ways and like didn't get upset with me over it, because, you know, you can't just be using people like that to get your petty stuff done. But like, I didn't know how Mike was going to handle that, and what if that would have really hurt him. Just don't put a whole lot of emphasis on what people think about me, because don't nobody in this world know me the way that I know me. So when someone tries to come out the woodwork and they try to come at me sideways and try to convince me and tell me about me, does that sound right? No, it doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. Definitely not my best moment, but I did it. I was petty. Me too. Yes, I did shit like that. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get a lot of trolls down below talking about like, oh my god, you're such a hypocrite. No, I never said that I was perfect. I never said that I was a saint. I never. This is what this series is all about, is giving you guys an insight of like some of the stupid shit that I did. That is the first episode of Pretty Petty. I hope you guys enjoyed this story. If you did, please don't forget to give me a huge thumbs up to let me know. If you are not subscribed to my channel and a part of my Glamazon family, what are you doing? Make sure you take a second, okay? It's free. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're not missing out on any new videos, any new content coming out on my channel. I'm super excited about it. Leave your comments and your thoughts down below. Let me know some of the petty things that you have done, because I am not the only one that's been pretty petty, okay? I love you guys so much. I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Peace out.